I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the GOAT, Tom Brady, and the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots as they take on a man miraculously back from injury, Alex Smith, and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, on the eastern edge of the D.C. metro area in Landover, Maryland. That's where we are situated at FedEx Field. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, look, some might say that football is a young man's fancy, so to speak, but don't tell that to these two quarterbacks because they come in here with a lot, and I mean a lot, of NFL experience.
Hey, I like the young Turks. I like the Baker Mayfields. I like the Patrick Mahomes. I like the Lamar Jacksons. But I do like those grizzled veterans who know how to play the game, know how to run their team, and know how to handle difficult situations. Maybe I'm just showing my age, too.
This is GFYS Gaming Australia, and this is Madden NFL 20. We're playing on the PlayStation 4 Pro on the Pure 4K TV, and hello to all my viewers out there that are watching this uploaded video here at GFYS Gaming Australia YouTube. Please do me a favor and click the subscribe button on our YouTube channel if you're not a subscriber. We are gaming down under, and we give you the finest and latest in gaming, and this is a game as part of our 2019 gaming season where we bring you the big games here at GFYS Gaming Australia YouTube. So click that subscribe button now. We have lots to come.
Off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And they're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career, but that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
They'll run it here. This is James White. Runs through the contact. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Brady gives this to White. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the handoff, this is White. And some room to maneuver. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Brady. And that's going to be incomplete.
Why did he get in the way for?
Thomas that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
It's hard to know who exactly to feature when you do a Patriots game, but in this case, we're going with James White, the running back out of Wisconsin. Highest receiving and rushing totals in 2018, just under 1,200 yards. Remember a few seasons ago against Atlanta in the Super Bowl? He had an MVP-esque performance.
Now Brady gets away with one. Lucky, could have been intercepted, but it falls to the ground. And here is the Redskin defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Here's Brady to throw. That's complete right around the end. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Patriots drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
7-0 to New England over the Washington Redskins. And we're now getting ready for the kickoff. Play.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Alex Smith ready to lead the Redskins here. And many wondered if Smith would ever play again following that difficult-to-watch leg injury suffered against the Texans last season. But at age 35, Smith is back and ready to give it another go. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago. 9 catches, 116 yards.
And he was able to get open there, but that's not always easy against this bunch defensively. We are deep enough into the season where numbers count. This is #1 rated defense in the NFL. He'll have a tough time.
And here a look at the offensive starters for the Redskins.
The #4 overall pick in the 2010 draft is left tackle Trent Williams. And oftentimes we talk about a guy of his potential and say just plug him in at left tackle for the next 10 years. But rarely does that work out. In this case, it's been spot on. A 7-time Pro Bowler. He patrols the blind side of all of his quarterbacks.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. And it's 3rd down.
Defensive line for the New England Patriots.
Let's go. 10-2 saw.
A shotgun snap for Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it.
On play plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And they'll be looking to make this a two-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that. How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
23 yards the pickup there. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Wide, 80. Number 53.
On 1st down, Brady. Slant route caught by Edelman. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That time a slant, Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And that's caught. It's Edelman again.
Edelman,
and they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted
they read it.
And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Brady knocked away, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got to.
He keeps finding his way into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Hang on. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding.
And the Patriots add on to their lead.
24-7 champion.
Shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Gostkowski for the point after.
So far, so good. New England in this game.
And it's good to make it 14-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, where the Browns already playing their third primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground.
Okay.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Smith. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw is Smith. He's got Thompson here, complete.
Oh.
They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And now Edelman. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Brady. Dancing to his left. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 5. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. On a handoff, it's White. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. James White.
Touchdown.
A monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gostkowski the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and that'll bring up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep it off.
Well, it's out. Smith lost it, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race.
Touchdown.
To the end zone. It's a fumble return.
It's Van Noy.
Touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defensive dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. The point after try for Gostkowski. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now.
28
So not
nil.
only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's get off the field. Right.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter.
Let's go, D.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach!
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up in Nashville, Buffalo in town to take on Tennessee. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Adam Humphries, a touchdown reception. Next, we'll take the trip north to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 2 touchdown passes there for Lamar Jackson. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Jordan Howard has found the end zone twice, 2 touchdowns for him. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His guys are on the road to Blowout City. They lead it big. As we send you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
So many different weapons available in that Patriot backfield. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Brady. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And now it's 2nd down.
After that throw, it was definitely one that he would love to have back. I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync. That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space.
Wait, 20. Check 53. Hey, what's the ball? 53
Now Brady. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, but it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack, trying to get away but could not.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? Because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Lawrence Guy able to bring him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Michael Bennett, the former Texas A&M Aggie, dropping the hammer. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Tressway now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Julian Edelman gets ready to take the field again here on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for New England. 59 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Shotgun now for Brady. And his pass incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who?
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots are pouring it on. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification. That's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense.
In the NRL here in Australia, in rugby league.
And of course, throw it to him where he's caught one as well.
That's a head management class there.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep.
Oh, I saved that player.
Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 18. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Michael Bannon able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Handoff comes to Peterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes.
38-0, New England.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Edelman set to return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now defensively they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch the pass. Alert flare. Alert flare. Flare.
They go play action for White. Now it's Brady. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. New England on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They go with White on the counter. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
get out the field, defense.
Easy.
From midfield, here's Brady. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
They're on to the fourth quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina.
Wait, set. 29. Alpha. Wait, 28.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On first down, Michelle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They come out here in the I. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. They'll try and run it in with White. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Opting to run again here with White. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that, you're out there fresh
passing yards, 139 rushing
spring
yards.
in your step, and it
Very
showed up
good
in this
effort
one.
by
They had a ton
the
of
New
spring
England
in their
Patriots.
step. Impressive victory. So for the Pats, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
And from all of us here at GFYS Gaming Australia, I hope you enjoyed our uploaded video of this Madden NFL 20 coverage here at GFYS Gaming Australia. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button now. We have many more games still to come here, a part of our 2019 gaming season here at GFYS Gaming Australia. We have a lot more of Season X for Fortnite. We have EA games still to come this season, FIFA 20, we have NHL 20, we have NBA 2K20, WWE 2K20, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, and much, much more still to come this season here at GFYS Gaming Australia at YouTube. So come and subscribe to us. We are Gaming Down Under. My name is Yossi Rambo. Until next time, bye-bye.